Okay, so I've actually noticed an issue with my drawing. Things got off of my initial measurement. When I drew that axis on there, the angle, I thought it was a measurement. It was just a line that was messing me up. It's a little bit too high, so that's part of what messed me up there. But we will remedy that. See that the eyebrow comes in just a bit from the nostril, so about there. Okay. So that's where my eyebrow starts. That means that this eye was actually started too high. Because my head has this downward angle to it. Now that I have that downward angle slightly lower where it should be, I'll be able to start the eye at the right height. Because I was noticing when I was getting the tear ducts lined up for both eyes that they didn't seem to make sense with what I'd already drawn over here. And it's because what I'd already drawn over here was wrong. You know, I'm just laying it all out there for you, messing things up. So now let's get these doggone eyes in here. What's the width of that eye? Good news. The width of the eye is half of this initial measurement. So I can go from here, I can measure over and say, okay, that is right there where the eye should stop. So that obviously makes my life a bit easier. So let me get a little bit of the drawing of this eye in. Once again, trying to follow that axis that's there. That's why I have it drawn on there as a line, so I can constantly refer to it as I am drawing other parts. Here. Just check that again. Check the measurement, so I'm measuring from the left side of my head to the corner of my eye. Measuring over. The right measurement. Okay. Just check it here. Yeah. Okay, good. What this means though is that the edge of the head will need to change. Because the edge of the head was being done in relation to where I thought the tear duct was, and it has been lowered quite considerably, so that will need to change. It's not a big deal. Okay. Right. Continue. Have you ever seen someone struggle so much with a self-portrait before? Don't answer that. Just on the struggle bus right now. That's how drawing usually feels to me, though. Yeah, there we go. So that will cut in just a little bit. So I'm just remeasuring because I had to move all this stuff down. I needed to find the edge of the head again because the tear ducts were lower than I thought they were at the very beginning when I had drawn some of that other stuff. So I went back and changed them to make sure they're accurate. Pretty sizable eyelid here. My eyebrow goes basically right to the top of that. Slight downward angle to it. Should be below this, so let's get that little bit of a vertical angle. Like I said, I have serious eyebrows because I'm a very serious artist. So this is also going to come in. You can get rid of that other initial. Edge of the head there. So we get rid of things that are wrong. Always get rid of things that are wrong. Okay. Just kind of finessing the shape of that eye a little bit more. And see, that is right, that's the edge of the tear duct. And I will say, you see me kind of like fretting over this stuff a little bit right now, resist the inclination to do that because you're still trying to make sure that all your proportions are correct. Don't spend a ton of time drawing any one individual feature right now. Because as you can see, you can very easily get some of this stuff wrong. And if I had spent a ton of time drawing that eye, only to realize that eye was totally in the wrong place, then you have to erase the whole thing. So take your time and get your proportions right first before you start fussing over what all of those individual features really look like. We don't need all that detail yet. We need broad understanding of the shapes and their placement. So I see that the highest point of my eye, or my eyebrow, is about here as it lines up with the eye. So once again, I'm sort of using this imaginary grid to draw the angle of that. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So that's the tear duct. So the nose should actually be moved over very, very slightly. I still have the bottom of the nose, so I still have that initial mark on there on purpose. Get rid of that extra mass that I shouldn't be seeing. Shake in the mirror. Right. Okay. Now, let's see. What's the difference in the width of my eye versus the width of my nose? So here I can see nose is definitely wider than the eye. So I'm not measuring all the way to the tear duct, I'm measuring right at the edge of it. But I have a measurement for the eye that I feel pretty good about. So I'm going to take that measurement, I'm going to line it up with the nose here and see where the nose should come over, I believe a bit more. So I'm just comparing this to this, basically, to figure out the size of that nose. The size of my nose. I can also see how it lines up, how it intersects with the eye. See, it intersects about right there, so it needs to come over. Definitely more than what I had originally thought when I was thinking I had a smaller nose than I actually have. Let's get rid of this. And I do have to say, when I have a model or a subject that is sitting quite still, I don't usually have to do so much erasing. It's getting the position right every time and time again is really what has proven to be so difficult about this drawing process. So I'm going back to the initial measurement. The tip of my nose is about a third of this whole measurement here. So going back to that, see the tip of the nose actually lines up with the corner of my eye here. This for the most part. So that's where the absolute tip of my nose is. It's a very strange looking nose. Look at that. Nostril. Trying to see where my nostril lines up. It's about right over there. So pretty far in here. So I have this pretty strong light hitting the bridge of my nose here. I'm just kind of showing where that is right now in the drawing. It's a pretty defining shape, so I'm allowing it to be in there for kind of a little bit more understanding of proportion right now. this slightly. A lot more going on the edge of my eye here. Right. So I have a mouth that I need to put in here. Just get the edge of that nose just a little bit more clear. Okay. I'm actually going to get rid of that light in there, throwing off my awareness of the drawing a little bit, awareness of the basic overall proportion. So the bridge of the nose goes above the tear. The tears I will be shedding if I do all this and my drawing is still horrible at the end. So the bridge of the nose is above that. So about right there. Curves in. Yes. Okay. So now I'm going to get the eye, or the mouth in here. I'm going to see the edge of the mouth. I'm just going to line it up somewhere with the eye, see where it intersects, see how far over it should go. You see that it does go just a bit past the nose, but only just a bit. Teeny tiny bit, as my daughter would say. Totally threw off my line there. So I'm, once again, just making sure that the angle that I've established is consistent. Looks pretty consistent. Okay. Because obviously you don't want the angle of the brow and the eyes and the nose to be all, you know, on the same axis, and then you have the mouth at a totally different angle, which is, I would say, quite common for student drawings of the mouth. I don't know, it's probably because the mouth is a pretty complex shape, because it's, you know, it's a sphere type shape in here. There's a lot of movement. It's really lippy, you know, there's just a lot going on there, a lot to mess up. So as you're trying to pay attention to all of that, it's pretty easy to lose the angle in trying to understand all of those other little nuances of the shape of the mouth. So that's why I just put that angle on straight away so that it's understood, and I don't have to, don't really have to fuss about that. I just get it right there. So let's see. Now I'm going to figure out where my top lip is in this space. How does it dissect that space?